What do we do at Caroz? It's actually quite simple. We manage the logistics performance of our customers.
Right.
With only one goal, making it more efficient, more responsive to customer needs,
Right.
to make them, let's say, more agile and more responsive to the market developments.
And your office is beautiful, so I'm going to take a few pictures. I'll actually show you around, and they have something very special in this place. All of the employees of Caroz, they have taken beautiful pictures, which everybody looks good, and they put it on the wall, right?
This video is brought to you by us, SCMDOJO. We provide awesome courses, guides, best practices for supply chain community.
Hi folks, welcome to one more episode of Supply Chain Show directly from Netherlands. Right now, I'm sitting at the headquarters of Caroz. Caroz do basically create a TMS system, and they have a control tower. But today we're going to talk about a transportation management system or TMS system mainly for shippers. And how does it work? What are the key functionalities? What are the challenges? And what are the benefits, right? And what we have today is somebody special. We got Kevin, who is our Director of Sustainability and Innovation. Welcome to the show, Kevin.
Thank you.
Right.
Thanks
So
for having us.
tell us about yourself and what Caroz does a bit more detail.
Yeah. Well, about me, my name is Kevin van den Dom. I've been working at Caroz now for over 2.5 years. Before that, I have a big background in transport and logistics. So all in around 20 years of experience in transport and logistics. And I once started with a university education on logistics and supply chain.
Right.
And so that was already around 20 years ago.
20 years.
Yeah.
Sick.
What do we do at Caroz?
Yeah.
It's actually quite simple. We manage the logistics performance of our customers.
Right.
With only one goal, making it more efficient, more responsive to customer needs,
Right.
to make them, let's say, more agile and more responsive to the market developments.
And your office is beautiful, so I'm going to take a few pictures. I'll actually show you around, and they have something very special in this place. All of the employees of Caroz, they have taken beautiful pictures, which everybody looks good, and they put it on the wall, right? So I'll just maybe show you in a minute, right? Now, so come to a topic. I've heard about transportation management system. Anybody who's learning about logistics, learn about ERP, WMS system, TMS system. But your TMS system is slightly specialized. So what I understand is your transportation management system is designed for shipper to do two things. Is to do optimize load and optimize carrier selection.
Yeah.
Which is typical, which is slightly different because most of the TMS do route optimization, right? But you're very much focused on the load optimization, right? And the carrier selection optimization.
Yeah.
So tell us a high level, how does it work?
Yeah, I think first it's important, Muddassir, to make this difference between a typical TMS system for transportation companies
Right.
versus typical TMS system for shippers.
Right.
Ours is in the latest category, so we focus on companies that transport goods, and that can be manufacturers, that can be distributors, and
Right.
all these kind of companies that ship
E-commerce as well?
e-commerce as well.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
So they're your typical customers.
Yeah, those are the typical customers that we serve. Yeah.
Any size, or do you have any?
Let's say all sizes are welcome,
Right.
but there needs to be a typical kind of size before a TMS will be, let's say, when it will be relevant to implement the TMS system, because it's quite a step from moving from transportation management managed by Excel files or anything like that towards managing it via a full digitalized solution.
Cool. So I'm going to explain what I understand by load optimization. That means most of the customer complains about that I want you to maximize my container so I can reduce my logistics cost, right?
Yeah.
So that is load optimization means.
Yeah.
What does the carrier selection optimization means? Because that's unique to you. So explain that part. What is carrier selection optimization is?
The optimization of carrier selection means that within our system, based on the typical characteristics of the order, so loading date versus ultimate delivering date, we select the right carrier for the right job. And what does it mean, the right carrier for the right job? There can be different selection criteria. For instance, the lowest price carrier, the carrier with the less lead time, the carrier with the best sustainable option, for instance, or the carrier with the best quality. Different kind of selection criteria.
Also could have affected, like people are looking more focused on sustainability or carbon emission. That can be also included.
Yeah, that can also be included into the selection procedure.
That's pretty smart. I never heard this before. Okay, this my lack of my knowledge, by the way, not reflection on the TMS producers. Okay, so clear on this, clear on the functionality, clear on who is the customer, which is anybody who's a shipper, manufacturer, distributor, wants to do load optimization for their customers, wants to do carrier selection optimization, and the transportation. When you say carrier, could be your in-house fleet and could be outsourced as well, right?
Yep.
Could be anything.
Can be an own fleet, so you can manage your own trucks. And there you can also optimize the routes of those own trucks, but you can also manage external 3PL carriers that perform
And it could be a mix of anything.
Could be a mix of anything. Yeah.
Very good. Very clear on that. I'm very now intrigued on the process. Like, okay, I have a typical shipper, which is a manufacturer distributor, as you talked about. Generally, they have a ERP system, or most of the ERP have some WMS capability, or they have a separate WMS, let's call it Marathon, for example, right?
Yep.
So how you fit in into that full order to ship process? And you show me a slide, right? Maybe you can explain it to people.
Yeah, I can definitely explain it. Let's say the best way or the typical way that we would like to put our TMS system into the IT landscape of our customers is in between the ERP and the WMS system, meaning that your TMS system will be leading into the transport carrier selection and into the flow. What you typically see is that from a process procedure, an order enters into the system via the ERP. So the ERP is linked to our TMS system. Order comes into the system. Then we check into the available carriers, the routing tables, the lead times. We check all the options of the carriers that are available for this typical transport. We do some smart things with the orders, by the way. We combine them, we consolidate them into bigger, larger orders, and we check with the warehouse whether there's availability of the stock. Then the TMS makes a transport order and selects the assigned carrier. From that moment on, we instruct the warehouse to start picking the order. When the warehouse instructs or gives us information as to the process of the order picking, pick-pack status, so to say, we assign the specific carrier and we'll print the specific carrier label if applicable. We perform the transport booking towards the carrier, and we enable our customers to manage the load from their warehouse into the full transport. Then the transport is being carried out. We receive all kind of information back from the carriers, like status information, like PUD, all this kind of stuff. And that is being fed back into our TMS, available on our portal, but we're also able to interface that back into the ERP system of our customers, so they can just use their own system and from their own ERP system or see the full traceability from book to pay.
Okay, that's great. So great flow of the presentation. Then I think there's a couple of things which is important for us to understand is how to get the routing table. And what you mentioned, one more thing is the input factors, right? Is the contracts of the transporter.
Yeah.
So these two things are important to get your TMS system works. And I think it's difficult maybe established in Europe, I would say. But if you go outside Europe, you go to Middle East, not so much, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think about that challenge?
Yeah, that's definitely a big challenge. It's also a challenge that we see with our customers here. But the big thing or the wonderful thing of our system is that we do not only have to work via an interface, but we can also work with a more manual-based system,
right?
Where we just send an email towards a certain carrier. They can inform us about the pricing, and they can enter the information directly into our portal, being either into the web portal, but also via mobile phone. So it's really, let's say, it's made easy towards the carrier to hand any information as opposed to pricing, but also as opposed to the status of a transport, for instance.
Okay. So that's possible, but it's important to have the routing information, right?
Definitely.
And the some level of contact. For example, if you have a carrier with the expired contract, that will not appear into selection criteria.
No. The system is fully designed to exclude contracts that have an expiry date in the past.
Okay, that's great. Now, the challenge I see, okay, that's fine. So what are typical benefit for using your TMS system? So I could do, let's take a layman example. I could book a transportation system without you as well, right? Yeah. But why would I even have your system at the first place?
Yeah, let's say the biggest benefits to talk about in the system are actually three.
Yeah.
3 months. First one is, and the most important one, is saving on transport costs.
Yes.
So we can perform up to 25% savings onto the transport costs.
Right. 25%.
Up to 25%.
Wow, that's a
Yeah.
big number.
Yeah. We save a lot of operational time from the operational people processing the. So up to 40% less time spent in operational headcount.
Wow.
Which is also quite an extensive number. And on top of that, we can increase the load via the load optimizing effect up to 50%. So
50%. That's a big number.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes, yeah,
So cost out, load optimization, better information too. And actually, the shippers who are working with you will also get more structure, right? So it's not just a benefit for the customer itself.
No.
Of course, they are the main beneficiaries, and you are saving yourself a cost, but the transportation will feel more managed, I guess.
yeah. You got full control from book to pay over your transportation
Book to pay.
process.
Right. So I know you showed me the process, but very quick question. So once you book a transportation, how the information goes to a transportation company to know they have to pick certain load? How does this information goes?
You perform transportation booking, let's say, in the most optimal solution.
Right.
You interface with with the system of a carrier.
Right.
That's not available. Then you make a PDF transport booking, or you would make the booking via the mobile app, where the carrier can just accept the booking and process it further.
Through WhatsApp or whatever, right?
Yep.
Okay, that's great.
Yep.
Now we know the benefit. Now the biggest challenge I see in integrating with your system is essentially getting the system ready to make it work, because your software, like any of the software, is as good as the most important, how accurate the master data, how comprehensive the master data, and so forth. So I know it's a challenge, you would agree, but how long typically it takes for your Caroz TMS to get on board and up and running? How long it takes?
Depends a little bit on the complexity of the process and the availability of the data, but I would say between 3 to 6 months.
3 to 6 months. Okay, that's a bit of a lead time, right? That means a cost of a software, which is, I think, is a license, I guess. Is a license.
It's a license, yeah.
Is a cost of a license, plus the time of your consultant to get them on board.
Yeah, that's actually a good thing that you mentioned, because it's not only when you start to invest into a TMS system and you want to implement a TMS system, it's not only just the decision of buying the software and implementing it. It's also a change process within an organization.
Right.
That's also why the lead time might seem a little bit long, but you need this time to prepare your organization so they can start working in a different way.
Right.
You need to instruct all the people how to work with the process, and that's all included into our way of working and our setup. So we don't just deliver some type of software and then the customer needs to start working with it. We fully implement it, and we are only satisfied when it's fully working and when all people are able to work with the system.
And you are the one who would provide all the consultancy, or you have, or let's call onboarding consultancy and the change management, or do you have partners as well?
We do perform it in-house, but we also have partners that are fully dedicated on this.
So if I'm Saudi, for example, or Dubai or Middle East, what's going to happen? Your people going to fly up?
If necessary, yes.
Otherwise, you can do remotely? Possible.
Yeah, let's say the system is a software as a service, so it can be performed fully remotely. But if necessary, we
fly in as well.
We fly in. Yeah.
Okay. So there's a cost of your consultants, right? There's a cost of software.
Yeah.
What is a typical ROI?
I would say around 1 year.
1 year.
Yeah.
So whatever a company will spend, get the money back in rough cut 1 year. After that, saving.
Yeah.
And optimization.
Yeah.
That sounds too good. That's very good to me. That sounds too good to me, actually. And I've seen the software is pretty smooth, right? It runs very fast. It's cloud and on-premise or both?
It's fully cloud-based.
Fully cloud, okay.
It's a very robust system, already designed 30 years ago, but it has been continuously developed and improved. And it's up to the latest standards. Developed and available as a service.
Right. Okay, that's perfect. So how people gonna find you if they want to contact you?
If they're interested, they can find us via our website, www.caros.com. And they can also send us an email via hello@caros.com.
So it's Caroz is CAROZ.
Yes.
So hello@CAROZ.com. And that's the reason why we are sitting here, because we want Caroz.
Yeah. And we're very happy to answer any question or any request.
Any request you have. Okay, great. And do you have any demo facility for people because they want to see a demo maybe?
Yeah, that's possible.
That's possible.
That's possible.
And for free of cost.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Of course.
That's very smart, because most companies who is as smart as Caroz, they don't do it. They try to hide away from free demos. But I think, except the competition of, but actually I don't know a lot of competition of Caroz, because you're pretty special, right? Especially what you do for your control tower. That may be a separate video. We'll do it next time when I'm here. But great stuff from Caroz. I think fantastic building, fantastic people you've got. And I think for the organization, how many people you got in this business? 60, 100?
Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So I think you are serving a great market.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts before we finish?
No, I would like to thank you for the opportunity to talk about our TMS. And again, anyone who's interested, please feel free to contact us.
Cool. Thank you very much for having me. So, just to summarize, as I said in the previous video, Netherlands is almost, when I come over here, it feels like a center of excellence for the logistics industry in general. Such a great company, and I'm fantastic to talk about Caroz TMS system, because I have seen a lot of TMS system. Because the reason I'm making this video is the uniqueness of this, because most of the TMS system run by transportation company, but I came from companies who were shipper themselves, right? We all used to have our own warehouses, our own ERP system, our own WMS systems, and most of the companies who have it, right, inside most of the time. So, but they struggle to optimize their load, and the customer keep complaining, why are you shipping me half a load, or I've got 1/3 of 40 foot is missing. And actually, we don't have enough time because video is already long, but I also challenge Kevin, what about drop shipping if I want to optimize my container from my manufacturing, let's call it Japan, Thailand, Indonesia, and want to ship directly to my distributors in Middle East or Europe? And he said the system can do that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that is, I think, is pretty unique to this software. So, good to hear. If you get the slides, if you need any more information, I'm happy to help here. You can contact me as well. I'll connect you with the Caroz guys. You know where to find me. You can find Kevin as well. I said hello@caroz.com. Thank you for watching. Hopefully, just as we said, like, share, subscribe, leave your comments so we can keep bringing these fantastic companies and fantastic case studies so we can all learn and share. So thank you for watching.